Hi everybody. Hello YouTube. What do I want to talk about today? Well, there's been a few things bouncing back and forth in the mind, and a lot of stuff that I've been wanting to get out from the heart. And primarily what it has to do is be in the now. You know, I mean, you're gonna hear it all the time. If you can be in the now, that's the place to be, you know. The past is the past, you can't change it. Future's a mystery. Just be in the now. You know, this is a mastership school, and we're almost completed with this semester, I guess you could call it. This whole year, even though it's been a lifetime, in the grand scheme it's been like that, just like a school year would be. Now, why is this mastership program, you might ask? Well, because a lot of the very highly evolved souls up there and from out there and from beyond the beyond wouldn't dare to do what we did. They're like, forget that, man. That's just crazy. It's almost like, I don't really have anything to compare it to on Earth, but there is something similar that comes to mind, and it's like joining the Marine Corps. I'm not talking about the whole jarhead mentality and that hoorah system. No, I'm talking about be all that you can be. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm suggesting towards of the higher vibration of it. What does that mean? It means for over the last 13,000 years, this has been a very male, very dominant, very war-driven zone of the universe to preoccupy. Okay, to occupy. And with that being said, it's like most people don't want to sign up to go jump out of choppers and to use a machine gun and a bayonet and put a gun back together and to live in the jungle for months and months on end and to put themselves in bomb zones and war zones. But in essence, that's what Earth has been. It's been hell. It's been hell. If you've been here for a long time, I mean, there's lots of young souls, granted, and that's awesome. Bless their hearts, bless their souls. But there's some of us old souls that we've been doing this for a very long time. Like the Jedi Council, you know. They're just some of us that take it to a whole different level, and we know what we know. We can do things that most people can't, even though if they practice and they went to the schooling and they put the inner work and the outer work in, they could do a lot of the similar stuff. It's just that most people wouldn't do that. Okay? There's 5 different kingdoms on planet Earth. I don't know if a lot of you know that, but the rock and the mineral kingdom is 1. Okay, the plant kingdom is 2. The animal kingdom is 3. The animal human kingdom is 4, and the spiritual human is 5. Now, rocks and crystals have consciousness. They have awareness. They're aware and conscious of the fact that they exist. That's huge. Most people don't get that. They're walking by, they don't even give a rock a second chance, man. I mean, there's plants, there's rocks, there's animals that I'd rather talk to, and I can learn a lot more from than a lot of the humans walking by. And I say that with love. I really do. It's just, you know, there's the old souls and there's the new souls, and you know, a lot of the new souls, they're not going to make the transition. They're not going to be able to. Okay. And it's very sad, but it's also promising, you know. I mean, coming from my personal life, a lot of my family, they're not going to make the transition into the new age. They're still too set in their old paradigms and their old dualities, and I've been telling them for the last 18 years about everything and the cycles and the changes and the shifts and you name it. I've done my best, and God bless them. I know I'm going to see him again. I know we're going to meet up in the future. It's just they're going to have to go and continue on in their kindergarten, and I'm going to have to go through and continue on in the 5th and 6th grade. And that's just how it's going to be. That's just how it has to be. There's nothing I can do to change that. As much as I would like to, I've put in so many different years like I just put out there, but not everybody's going to make this shift. And that's okay. It has to be. The ones that will all be in a place to change the world as we've known it, to revolutionize the world as we've known it, and to expand it into so many different parameters that it hasn't ever been privy enough to experience. Okay, this is the grandest time of our whole evolutionary existence as a race, as a species, as a planet. And not only that, there's so much internally inside the planet that's changing, and there's so much externally that's going on. It's a change for all to behold. And that's why there's so many observers, there's so many fans up there just going, "You can do it! You can do it! You can do it!" So we're already halfway through the photon band, which basically means we're half done. It's not much time left before we're going to completely pass through and into the new. As we do this, there will be no rocks to hide under. There will be no surface areas with shadows existing. There will be none of that. It will be completely bombarded and blasted with this light, this information, this infinite information, and it's going to change. It already is changing. Everybody can feel it. I mean, I don't have to speak for everybody, but literally all of your cells are mutating at such a rapid rate that it's very exciting. You're going to be having all these new powers, newfound powers that you're going to be experiencing. They're not new. They're just your DNA's waking up, so you're allowing yourself to remember what your DNA's forgotten for so many freaking eons. But yeah, you're going to be doing all kinds of stuff that you thought was close to the impossible. I don't know if you've ever seen a show. It's a TV show. It's kind of old now, but it's called Heroes. Okay, I'm not going to go into it very much, but there's a bunch of different people. They all look just like me and you do, and they all have their own superpower. Some have the ability to absorb others' powers, and some just have all the powers in one. And some just have their own individual things, and that's it. And that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going. That's why that was even put out, okay? Is because that type of insertion of a holographic program is exactly what it is going to take for mass consciousness to start to awaken on that level. You see, every single thing that you've ever seen on any movie, on any dramatization, on any level, every creature, every alien, every life form, every type of planet exists somewhere. Might not necessarily exist in this universe, but since there's infinite universes out there, it exists somewhere. Okay? That is how it was able to manifest, to channel through, to download, to manifest, and to project itself out into your reality. If it wasn't out there, we would have never been able to actually witness it, observe it, and ingest it, because we wouldn't be able to manifest it if it didn't exist. So therefore, everything that you see and can't see exists. So this is a very magical time, very spiritual time, very enlightening time. Super exciting time. Now, the reason why I say, some of my family members and a lot of the newer souls aren't going to make it is because it's like, have you ever went to a third world country, or even a second world third country, or even you just walk down the street, the bus station? I mean, there's some people that just don't have the pilot light lit. They have enough to get from day to day, hunter-gatherer, like, okay, I need to get lunch. Okay, do you have $1? Can I have $1 from you, sir, so that way I can buy a Happy Meal or whatever? That type of an individual is existing. That's it, which is fine, because at that soul's now moment, that's exactly what they need to be learning at that moment for them. Now, some beings have the pilot light really cooking, like it's blazing. Those are the spiritual humans. The animal human is like, if I go to Tijuana and I'm walking down the street and 20 kids ask me for $1 to pay for their chicle or to get a taco or whatever, those kids just haven't been given enough resources, education, or even on a soul level. You got to take it from the highest point. That's where they signed up for. That's where they decided to be born. They decided their parents. They decided that experience. They decided that they were going to meet you at that day, and you were going to give them the $1 or you weren't. Simple as that. But they don't really have the pilot light lit in order to really get cooking in this life, because there's not much time left. Okay? They don't really have enough to get really cooking. And then there's some that have signed up from a soul level that really have got it cooking. And they just are like, wow, are you kidding me? Hey, I don't know if you've ever looked at Britain's Got Talent or America's Got Talent, or I'm not even trying to go into the singing shows. I'm just trying to use examples of all these young beings that as soon as they open their little mouths, you get chills all the way down your body because you know that they've been doing it for the last 1,000 years because they're masters at that. It'll blow your mind. There's so much talented individuals out there. If you let it. So, really where I'm going with this is to be in the now. To be in the now. To put all your focus, all your attention, and realize everything surrounding you is exactly perfect. It's all according to plan. You are perfect. You're all according to plan. Every single scar, every single experience, every single mark on your body is perfect. Love it. Forgive it. Let it go. And embrace it. You know, if you were to put my body underneath a black light, it would just glow white because it's just a living scar. Everything in my body is scar tissue everywhere. And that's okay, because I chose all that. I chose all those experiences in order to obtain those. And I'm okay with that. As long as you can love yourself, be in the moment, love your brother just like you would love yourself, love your neighbor just like you love yourself, love the rock because you understand that it's just as conscious and aware as a plant growing out of it. You know, they might be in a different kingdom realm of evolution, but realize that we all started from that type of very, very minuscule, minute thing to where we are right now. And so what if the rock's in elementary school? Okay, so what? Cool, good rock. You know, so what if, you know, the freaking animal human is in the 3rd grade? Awesome! Keep going, little buddy. You're gonna get there. We all get there. Just because, okay, like when you see a mountain, everybody gets to the top of the mountain. At the end of the day, everybody makes it to at the top of the mountain. We all do as souls. The top of the mountain, in a metaphor, would be the kingdom of heaven, or the temple up at the very top. There's a temple there, and we all strive to get to the top of the mountain. Now, some of us are crazy. We do the rock climber, like Tom Cruise, like hanging off freaking rock ledges with talc powder and marking our way. Some cross rivers, some cross streams, some go through the woods, some go through the forest. And the masters, if you've been doing it as long as we've had, you don't even bother with all that. You just go strip the backside because you know how to get there, and it's a straight shot. You don't have to deal with all this broken, fallen logs and avalanches and falling off the mountain. We did that. We did been there, done that, man. It's not. We just know the back way. So when you are face down in the snow, 100 yards out from the temple, and you're ready to give up and you're ready to die, we say, no, buddy, calm down. It's going to be fine. We're right here. We're all surrounding with our lanterns. We're all in the snow waiting for you to get up to look at us, and we're going to grab you by the arms. We're going to bring you in the temple, and you're going to be warm. Before you know it, you're going to be drinking and eating all the porridge and soup and whatever you want, really. It will be there. Okay, so it's like, don't give up. Keep fighting the good fight. We're almost there. For all those who know what I'm talking about, I love you. I love you. I love you. For all those who don't know what the heck I'm talking about, I love you. I love you. I love you. Just wherever you're at, realize that, you know, if you're stressed about the mortgage, if you're stressed about your phone payment, your car payment, your rent payment, whatever, you're stressed about your job, just realize that from this moment, looking back, ever since you were born, You've always made it. It's always worked out. It might have not worked out the way you thought it was going to, but you always got what you needed for the exact right moment. Would you not? Would you disagree? No. Okay, so that means, what makes you think that, or feel for 1 second, or have any doubt for 1 second that you won't be provided for in your new now moment, in your other new now moment, and in your other new now moment after that? It's gonna work out. Keep the faith. That's how it is. You think a little sparrow hopping around the ground eating bread is going to be provided more than you? And you're an angel of the prime source of all that is? No! He didn't send you down into this war hole, this war world, to try to raise his vibration so he would allow you, and the goddess of all that is would allow you to fail? No! No, 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 no. They're not going to allow you to fail. But you have to do your part and be aware, be conscious, be in the moment, and have the faith. And don't give up that faith. Don't give up the faith. It's like in jiu-jitsu, okay? One of the many styles I've studied throughout my life. Probably other lives too, because it's over 2,000 years old. But a lot of times, the guy would get me so tight in a choke, and I wouldn't have hardly any room to breathe, but I just had just enough to allow me for 1 second, maybe 1 second and a half. And he had me so tight, and I'd be losing consciousness, and I wouldn't want to tap out, but I knew if I was gonna last like that, I wasn't gonna be around for much longer. Little did I know, by me just fighting the extra second and a half, the guy's grip loosened just enough because his hands started to fatigue. And then I made some space, and then I made some more space, and then I got on top, and guess who won? Me. You know how many times it's happened to me? Thousands upon thousands of times. Thousands upon thousands of times. You're in a bad position. You don't think you can breathe. You don't think you can move. You don't think you can get out. Your arm's about being ready to be broken. Guess what? His legs fatigue. He doubts himself because he feels that he can't get you with that. So he tries to get you in something else. That creates enough space. Boom. You get on top. You pound him. You beat him. You choke him. You submit him. Whatever you got to do. But you didn't give up the faith. You didn't stop fighting. You didn't tap out. That's the kind of energy that we need to sustain ourselves. Still, until the fat lady sings, we still need to keep up that tight, that sense of, if he starts to get too tough, don't give up. Don't give up. Because a breakthrough will occur. I promise you, I guarantee it, and I've been speaking from my whole life and all my other lives. And I'm in a position where I'm fortunate enough to hardly have ever been wrong. And it kind of sucks with other things, but at the same time, it always works out. So, have faith. I love you guys. Keep up the good fight. And I could probably talk for another 15 minutes, but that's a good little start. Alright, you guys. Love you. Peace, love, and namaste. Have a great night. God bless you all. Peace.